Hello, quick review of a Zmb Fll-t series by, well, not series, volume 1 of the Zmb Fll-t series by Mark Tufo. It is a self-published zombie apocalypse novel set in Colorado, where Mike Talbot and his family and a couple of friends and Tommy and dogs, important dogs, are there at the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, which the last headline in the little snippets of newspaper stuff is December 7th, a date close to my heart. And this basically kind of covers us in that first month, right up to Christmas Day of the the fallout of the zombie apocalypse. It's a self-published novel, so let's talk about the positives. I like the energy. I like the humor. Well, I like that there is humor. I'll get to the humor. I like that it's very kind of meat and potatoes zombie novel. We've got Mike Talbot, a ex-Marine, at the center of the novel. He is a dad who's really bent on protecting his family. And I mean, and when at parts in here where he feels like he's failed his family, I can kind of feel that pain of like you want to protect the ones you love. And so that's a really good kind of anchor to have for a zombie story. And indeed, a lot of zombie stories seem to be very much about family. Sometimes maybe family values is a good way to put it, in that kind of conservative sense, which I don't fall upon, so yeah, there's that. I do find that this is definitely it feels like it's the first novel of a writer, and maybe someone without too much in the way of editing. It's all supposed to be from the journals of Mike Talbot, though within those journals we sometimes get other people's points of views, so it and even like you'll get his point of view even when he isn't in a scene, even though we're having stuff from other people's we're having stories told from like his son's points of view, which is like, well, how are they in his journals to begin with? And indeed later we have a section where it's like, hi, this is Tracy, Mike's wife. Mike's very angry, kind of mean wife who he inexplicably still loves, even though she's kind of really written as a terrible person. Saying, hi, this is me writing a little section in the novel, even though because he's been knocked out unconscious by the last encounter. Though, did he wake up, write that thing, and then she wrote this, or did he go back in and write his entry and then she added this entry? It's like there's a couple things there that just don't make any sense, which is like it'd probably be better if this was just like, okay, this is from my point of view, but we're not going to get into this is a written down journal, because I have a hard time seeing this ex-Marine saying like, oh, after a horrible day of zombie fighting, I would actually sit down and record my thoughts after that, because most of the times he's falling down unconscious, asleep, or just knocked out at the end of sections. In addition to kind of the writerly stuff, and some of the language is pretty clunky, but you can kind of forgive that because it's meat and potato zombie apocalypse. I have a harder time with the point of view stuff. Also the humor, it is very much kind of a dude humor, which with a lot of stuff about kind of gay panic, what I would consider gay panic jokes of like, calling each other sissies, or, oh, I'd kiss you. And then he does kiss them. That does get paid off later. But I was kind of rolling my eyes of like, when was this written? It was written in like, I think 2017 or 2016. It's like, or 2010. I can't remember, because this series has been going on for a while. So I really didn't appreciate that. There's a character called Tommy, who is sort of the magic simple person in that thing. He's someone who is obviously has developmental disabilities, but he is treated as a character who's kind of got a hotline to God, and sends them visions and messages and seems to know the future and all that stuff. And it was like, that's not really, it's using someone with disabilities as a plot device, as a magic character in a novel, which kind of further dehumanizes them. I love the dogs in the book. gotta love dogs. There's stuff with an evil woman who pre-apocalypse tried to seduce him, who turns into a zombie later and gets her just desserts, at least by the book's point of view, just desserts from Tracy, his wife. The women in the book in general aren't really treated that well. When we get Tracy and Nicole going out on a run, neither of them in this gun crazy culture are actually capable of firing a gun with any intelligence. You'd think, especially growing with Mike Talbot, who it turns out is a gun nut, survivalist kind of enthusiast, basically planning his whole life for that. He wouldn't have actually trained them up, even if they were maybe just kind of grudging about it. But just being Americans in this kind of gun nut culture, you'd think there would be something there, but they're kind of treated as kind of a bit of brainless kind of naggy characters that the male characters have to kind of suffer through because, you know, it's my wife, it's my girlfriend, it's my daughter, kind of that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, you know, it takes pretty much the kind of the kind of the actions and the stuff that you would expect. You know, the zombies are outside of their gated community, then, you know, maybe that doesn't fare so well. Then they're in the little castle of the house itself. It's like, oh my God, will they get out? And yeah. So, you know, it's the start of a long series. So you know how it's going to go. I'm probably not going to go on in the series. Not so much because of the poor writing as much as I know that I'm not going to jibe with how he's going to write the female characters, with how he writes Tommy. Do agree with him on dogs. Dogs are awesome. We've got that. But it's probably just not a series for me. So yeah, that is my review of Zmb Fll-t. I've learned about this through Steve Donahue. Great illustrious professional reviewer, Steve Donahue. Maybe the series gets better as it goes along. Maybe he just saw more in it than I did. I mean, it's a fun with cringes series, but it's too many cringes for me to continue on with the series. All right. And also, you know, I'm a Canadian, so when they have a little section at the end about the Canadian incident, I am, of course, nationalistically obliged to be like, oh, well, Canadians would never do that. Actually, totally would, but not in that particular sort of way. And our prison colonies are just prisons. But I think that would be to nitpick on the accuracy of the Canadian incident would be beneath me, and even though I just did it, so I guess it's not beneath me. That was, I guess, a little amusing kind of thing there at the end. A part of the little slapstick humor that this novel's is its definite strength. And I can see why a lot of people would probably go back to it for that. It's like, if you're going to have zombie apocalypse, have it with kind of grins. I think, especially at this time of COVID. I could not have bared a serious zombie novel at this point with COVID-19, and we're all hiding inside from The Walking Dead. Yes. All right. More videos later.